Number 6. Mrs. Brown's old grandfather lived with her and her husband. Every morning he went for a walk in the park and came home at 12:30 for his lunch. But one morning a police car stopped outside Mrs. Brown's house at 12 o'clock, and 2 policemen helped Mr. Brown to get out. One of them said to Mrs. Brown, "The poor old gentleman lost his way in the park and telephoned to us for help, so we sent a car to bring him home." Mrs. Brown was very surprised, but she thanked the policeman, and they left. "But, grandfather," she then said, "you've been to that park nearly every day for 20 years. How did you lose your way there?" The old man smiled, closed one eye, and said, "I didn't quite lose my way. I just got tired, and I didn't want to walk home."
Number 7. Helen's eyes were not very good, so she usually wore glasses. But when she was 17, and she began to go out with a young man, she never wore her glasses when she was with him. When he came to the door to take her out, she took her glasses off, and when she came home again, and he left, she put them on. One day, her mother said to her, "But Helen, why do you never wear your glasses when you're with Jim? He takes you to beautiful places in his car, but you don't see anything." "Well, mother," said Helen, "I look prettier to Jim when I'm not wearing my glasses, and he looks better to me, too."
Number 8. A man was trying to build an electric motor car. He worked in an office in the town during most of the week, but on Saturdays and Sundays he stayed at home in the country and worked on his electric car. Every Monday he told his friends at the office about his work on the car, but his news about it was never very good. Then at last, one Monday morning, he came to the office and said to his friends, "I've done it. I've driven from my home to here by electricity." His friends were all very glad. "How much did it cost to get here by electricity?" they asked. £302, he answered. £2 for the electricity, and £300 for the electric wires from my house to the car.
Number 9. An artist went to a beautiful part of the country for a holiday and stayed with a farmer. Every day he went out with his paints and his brushes and painted from morning to evening. And then, when it got dark, he went back to the farm and had a good dinner before he went to bed. At the end of his holiday, he wanted to pay the farmer, but the farmer said, "No, I don't want money, but give me one of your pictures." "What is money? In a week it will all be finished, but your painting will still be here." The artist was very pleased, and thanked the farmer for saying such kind things about his paintings. The farmer smiled and answered, "It's not that. I have a son in London. He wants to become an artist. When he comes here next month, I will show him your picture, and then he will not want to be an artist any more, I think."
Number 10. Mr. Jones was very angry with his wife, and she was very angry with her husband. For several days they did not speak to each other at all. One evening Mr. Jones was very tired when he came back from work, so he went to bed soon after dinner. Of course, he did not say anything to Mrs. Jones before he went upstairs. Mrs. Jones washed the dinner things and then did some sewing. When she went up to bed much later than her husband, she found a piece of paper on the small table near her bed. On it were the words, "Mother, wake me up at 7 a.m. Father." When Mr. Jones woke up the next morning, it was nearly 8 a.m., and on the small table near his bed he saw another piece of paper. He took it and read these words: Father, wake up. It is 7 a.m. Mother.